Hey, this is Seth Peek with Peek Realty and Peek Painting in Atascadero. Once again, joined by Harry Bennet of Equity Reach Mortgage. What's up, man?
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for having me on. As always, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been playing around with a new tool and it's got me thinking. It's called HomeBot AI. So it's a new AI tool, right? It's the hottest thing right now. Everybody's talking about Chat GPT and AI and how it can help us.
AI is taking over.
I've got some pretty. You ever played with Chat GPT and like had it write anything for you and see how it comes
It's
out?
amazing.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's quite it's really impressive what you can have it do and plan out, schedules or plan out meals or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah. And like in painting, we had like a kind of a joke because if you put in there, like if you want to do a description for a blog or whatever, it can be super detailed and over the top and dramatic sounding, and or you can, dumb it down as much as you want by
Yeah,
just training it on how to say something.
right.
Yeah. But with like, same with listing descriptions on properties or even automated emails to clients that are, buying or selling or monthly newsletters. It's kind of a fun tool, but you still have to tweak it and put a personal touch in there so it doesn't sound so canned.
So now this HomeBot AI,
Mm-hmm.
right, versus the Zillow, do you know what's the big difference in how they're getting their data?
So like a Zestimate, you have a client, they go, "Oh, I looked my house up and the Zestimate says
Yeah.
XYZ. That's super undervalued what I think my house is worth," or "I can't believe my house is worth that much."
Yeah.
So HomeBot is more comprehensive than his estimate. But what they're both doing, and they're both like AI tools, right? And what it is, it's not like it's not actively thinking and communicating with you on demand. It's more of like it's crawling the aggregate data on the internet and then putting together reports of your home based on numbers and the market and every piece of data from all the MLS, and creating this value of what they think your house is worth. And it's really a starting point. Uh, we've gone through the exercise. So on HomeBot, now like I can put a homeowner in there to receive a monthly report and performance on their home, everything down to financing, to what it would look like if they rented it out, what their cash flow would be, how much equity they would have if they sold, and how much money they had for a down payment if they moved somewhere else. With Zestimate, you're getting like, okay, this is the value of your home. That's really it. With HomeBot, what it is it's pretty cool, is that it's like a monthly report or even more if they request more updates um, about the health of the financial position of their house, right?
Yeah.
But it still requires some input. Like my house in particular, it was like 30 or 40,000 under what I think it would list for today, because the one piece that it's missing is the personal, professional look, the outlook of the home. Since it sold last, HomeBot doesn't know that the master bathroom has been remodeled, doesn't know that the front yard is like super bitching and all like kept up and looks great, doesn't know the back patio was done. So there's certain things that you have to kind of play
Yeah.
with there and tweak in terms of numbers. But that's kind of a conversation starter between the client and the realtor. The lender is like, this is a good starting point and a good report on a monthly basis, but it can be tweaked. It's not a perfect system.
Yeah, and you'd shared that link earlier this week, and I did sign up with it just to see what it would do as a consumer on my side, and I did see the report come through. It's pretty comprehensive, and there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of tweaking you could do. So if you
Mm-hmm.
feel like something's off, you can edit that and tell it that, hey, I've got new floors done. I did a remodel in the bathroom, and then that will kind of be added into the thought process of the
Mm-hmm.
evaluation tool. But I think at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's that professional eye that, you give the advice like, hey, I know what market we're in, and I know this neighborhood, and I know we can get over asking, or you can list here X, Y, and Z, and, get the most amount of offers you can.
Right. And it's a tool for both lending and realtors. It kind of lends itself more to a homeowner, a seller standpoint for the realtors, the way the realtor would use a HomeBot software, and more to the buyer's experience for obviously the lenders. But what's cool about it too is that at the bottom of the report, even for the homeowners getting their monthly report, it shows you all your like I said, how much money you would have if you rolled it into buying a new home, how much your down payment, what kind of house could you afford. It has all your loan information for your current home in there as data, like in order to evaluate your future position of buying another home, right?
Wow.
So it kind of lends itself to a perfect pairing of a realtor and a lender team in order to, take over the whole stressful situation of buying and selling a house.
So every month, so if I signed up the other day, so now every month I'm going to get emailed this report, or is it?
Yeah,
weekly?
no, it's a monthly thing, but honestly, from what I've been playing around with it, it's a new program to me.
Okay.
I have sent it to myself once a day, just tweaking it a little bit more on my own
Keep
home.
bumping up the value.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you can do that. So the realtor with the, if you're going to be, fudge it a little bit, which I don't recommend. You could bump it as high as you could, and then send it back. So it has a feedback loop of, the homeowner could say to the realtor, "Hey, Seth, my house is probably worth more like 650, right? Not 575." And I'd go, "Yeah, you're probably right." Using more of like my personal experience with like maybe a house in Paso Robles, this neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, so you can tweak the number up and it'll change the other data in the bottom of the report in terms of like if you sold, how much equity, cash in hand, all that gets changed when you change it, the value. So it's not just like a perceived value. It really is based on, if you were going to open up the MLS and list a house for sale today, what would my realtor put in there? And that's the number that we're trying to represent when it gets sent to you. So it's live. If the market heats up, maybe next month it could go up to 10, 20,000.
Yeah, and it shows you by zip code, like this zip code is hot. This zip code is maybe cooling off a bit, right?
Right.
So we can kind of see. That's nice.
And it's kind of a funny one too. I just noticed it because, full disclosure, I've been signed up for about a week, and I've been signing a few people up here and there on this for this service. It's even at the bottom, they have like a if-then scenario of Airbnb or like short-term rental. So it said like, if you're going to Airbnb this with your current mortgage payment, since it knows that data and your current X, Y, and Z, you could, and it knows how much Airbnbs go for in that zip code because it's pulling all this from the internet. Your monthly revenue from Airbnb would be $2,300. After all said and done, your cash flow would be $2,300. So it gives you all that data. Obviously, it's not going to know if Airbnb is legal in that area. But it's just cool. It's one more thing that it actually hooks you up with.
Yeah, it's amazing how much AI has progressed, and it's crazy to see where it's going to go in the next year or two.
Yeah,
with all these applications. But I definitely appreciate you posting that link out there. And so if you're watching this and you're curious about your home value, maybe you want some scenarios, or you want Seth to give you his opinion on that, it's a really good. It's free. It's completely free, and it's a good report.
It's completely free, and you can think of it like, for one, I pay for it to give it to clients, just like a lender would pay for it to give it for free to their clients.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can't lose. There's no advertising. It doesn't like you. It's just, you're getting data once a month. Here's the data.
Can you show
Ask me questions. Yeah, I can show it.
Or just like the homepage or something.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little helpful, because that way it kind of gives, like, people, if they're watching this, it gives them a little bit of, what the the report kind of looks like. Maybe if you can show up an example, and that way it'll kind of break down all those.
So without going into just clicking on clients and showing private data and whatnot,
right?
But it shows you like basically your performance. I've got 4 home sends of 4 home opens, 4 home views. People have signed up in the last couple of days. I will just go ahead and show you mine just so you can get an idea of it. So it gives you your CMA, your address, your value, your home in Atascadero was where we live. I haven't tweaked this at all. It's probably a little more than 610, but it's probably good enough right there. Yeah. And we're going to have the digest here, which is what you get on a monthly basis would be the digest for the home. So it shows you over time, 49% increase since we bought in 2018. the net worth after my loan. It shows you what you paid for towards principal, towards interest. And if you were going to refinance, which is not recommended at this time, and obviously with the interest rates, it gives you a breakdown in a good lower interest market. This would be a great tool as well, because you could literally click on it and it would connect to my co-sponsored lender. If you paid, it also gives us a cool one. If you pay just a little bit more principal per month, you could save over the lifetime of your loan.
Yeah, it's smart, man.
Yeah. And if you bought another home, how much could you afford? Purchase a new home, I could afford $692. Obviously it's not accounting for my income since I bought the last home, but it gives you a rough idea. If nothing has changed since your last purchase, then it will give you kind of a rough idea. Sell in pocket cash, rent and your home and buy another. Here's the Airbnb data. $232 a night would bring in $2,351 annual revenue, 28,000 nights per month. You'd have to rent it, would be 10. It's pretty. That's a break even. My mortgage payment. It's a break even right there. But it's pretty dang cool. Everything. It's a monthly report. Doesn't cost anything, and it's a great tool for both realtors, lenders, homeowners, and buyers.
It's a great tool. It's
a win-win.
It's way more inclusive, more than just like going on Zillow and just kind of typing out, you're getting your estimate. This is definitely a way more in-depth tool. So thanks again for sharing that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing around with it, and maybe in a call, like in a couple months, we can revisit it and see how it's performing.
Yeah. I mean, I signed up, so hopefully you'll have a couple of people on there and get some more data. And I think the more data that AI gets, it starts learning even more and more and more. Right? Yeah,
and the one thing different between this estimate that we didn't talk about is the fact that there's no feedback loop. So you can't contact Zillow and say, "Hey, this is wrong. These things are all wrong." Like with this, it's like you literally just go in there and tweak it. So
that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
differentiator there.
Right on. This has been a fun one, man. Sometimes it's fun to find a new tool and just talk about it. This is definitely my favorite program right now, and I'm in no way endorsed by them. I actually pay them to use it. I just think it's a no-brainer if you own a home or you're looking for a home to sign up. It's just free data.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Right on, man. I'll give you a call next week and we'll have another chat.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
See ya.